everybody, and welcome back to How Do You Do? How do you do? I have someone I want to introduce you to. This is my new little bird friend. Yeah, can you say hello? Oh, are you shy? Come on. Oh no, it's okay. Don't be shy. Yeah, no, they're nice. Go take a look. Yeah, they're very fun out there. Can you say hello? Oh, good. Can you wave hello back? Oh, thank you. Well, guess what? Today we're going to make a egg carton puppet, or as I like to call it, a glove puppet. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. All right, so let's make your very own glove puppet. So glove puppets is a type of puppetry that I got to experience when I was in the UK. I was very fortunate to get the Leslie O Fellowship when the Northwest Children's Theatre started our puppet journey. And I got to go to some puppet festivals, and there were all of these puppet shows using a simple glove. And they were really exciting, and I'd never seen anything like it before. So there's all types of puppets made or performed with just using a glove. So we're gonna make one together today. And what you need is a glove. Somewhere in your house, I hope you have a glove that you can maybe let be turned into a puppet. I like a stretchy, soft glove if you have it, like a old winter glove is great. I also had some gardening gloves. These are a little, they're really thick because they're supposed to protect your hand from gardening. And these will work too, but because they're so thick, they're a little harder to move my fingers, and your fingers are really what are gonna make this puppet come to life. So I want you to try to find a soft glove, and the other special equipment or product that we need for this puppet is old egg carton. We had a holiday recently. You may have some egg cartons laying around. If you can find some of these and find a glove, and then the other things, as we've been making puppets together, is some type of glue. I'm using hot glue today. And then when you're done with your puppet, if you have extra stuff, you might want to put something in the eyes, or I use some feather. I probably always use feathers because I have them, but maybe look for some other bits that you can throw on your glove, and let's get going. Let's make our puppet. To get started, let's start by making what's going to be the head of our glove puppet. So find your egg cartons. I had two different color cartons in my house. I had this really pretty blue. I also had bought some extra large eggs for making pasta. So what you're going to do is, I use scissors. First I'm going to get rid of the lid because I don't need that, and it's going to be in my way. And a lot of the egg cartons have this flap. I'm going to get rid of that. So I basically just have the tray part. I'll save these. Who knows, that might become something another time. So if you look inside your egg carton, you have a little face. And depending on how you want to cut this up, there's many different types of faces I think you could come up with. But basically where the egg goes is what will look like the eye. And then you have this triangle bit, that's what holds the eggs in place. That to me looks like a nose. I cut around, leaving two of the egg holes to make an eye, and then I left this, and this is a little beak. And we'll make a couple different faces with our egg cartons, but that's what you want to cut out. So I'm going to make a green one that looks like my example puppet. So I'm going to start with getting rid of the bottom half. So I'm going to cut along here, and this is a little tricky, but this material cuts like paper does, which is nice. I think I'm just going to get rid of half of this. And that one, not too useful, so I'm going to put that in my scrap pile. So I got rid of this, so that's the beak for this particular cut right here. Now I'm going to cut this part away, so I have two eyes and a beak. So next, I'm looking at these, and for my puppet, I want the eyes to look the same. So this part has what looks like a little triangle bit, and this part looks more curved. So I'm going to cut these so they look the same, but that is a designer choice. You might want it to be not symmetrical, asymmetrical. So now I have, on this puppet, I have this nice kind of straight line across the top. I like that. This one, I think I'm going to cut away some of this top part. This might make the eyes look a little smaller. So this is a part for your puppet. You get to decide what you want the head shape to look like. Okay, that one looks good. I like that one. So that one's ready to go. This one has a little different, this one has more of a triangle shape, so these look a little different. I like those. I'm gonna also do a blue one. I'm gonna make a few of these, just so you can see different examples. So, it looks like the easiest one for me to get into is, I'm gonna go for this one right here. So, again, I'm gonna start getting rid of what I don't want. You know, also, you could probably keep just this part. Makes a great nose. That makes a good nose, so I'll keep that. That might be, I could probably put two little eyes on that one and let it be. So, we will see. Get this out. So what I want to do on this one, I'm keeping this big triangle point as a nose, but I want to show you another way to make that change a little bit. So now what I'm going to do, instead of leaving all of this triangle bit, I'm going to get rid of a little bit of it so I can change the shape of it. And I'm going to bend it flatter and down. So now I have, this one has a very different beak shape than the other ones do. So your first step is to start cutting up your egg carton and start making whatever head for your glove that you think looks the best. Let's talk eyes. So for this puppet, I want the head to be pretty much complete before I attach it to the glove. I think it's harder to put detail on the headpiece for our glove puppet once it's attached to the glove. So I'm going to start kind of finishing these puppets off. So again, to make your eyes, there's all sorts of things we can do. If you've been watching our puppet videos, I've been sharing all sorts of things that eyes can be made out of. Again, this is just one of my many boxes full of things I collect that look like eyes. Some new things, I have these black beads that I really like, and I haven't used these for any of our videos yet. That almost looks like a face right there. Hello. So I think I'm going to use these on one of the puppets. I always have my dot stickers. If you've not seen the videos before, these are rubber or felt dots to put under furniture so they don't scratch floors. They make great pupils for eyes. On my example, I just put two of the dark circles just right where the egg usually sits, and that works beautifully. But I also was wondering what it would be like to have some white around the eye, and there's these little white dots that just pull off. So I'm going to use two of these. I'm going to see what this looks like. Again, I'm always looking for round things. So they're not sticky, they're just round dots. So I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue right in the center. Boop, boop, boop. And then I'm going to put a white dot in first. The reason I want a white dot first is it just as a different way of doing the eye. It puts something around the pupil part. It's not how it has to go. There's something I love about how this one looks. When you have a puppet, we call it the puppet's focus. Does it look like the puppet is looking at something? And there's no right or wrong as long as it has good focus. So when you just have little black dots, that's one way of making the puppet look focused. But a lot of people like having a white area around the black dot because it helps that focus look even more sharp. I would say when there's white around it, it also makes it look a little more cartoony. So you see the difference between, they can both look like they're looking, it's just a different, it makes the character look a little different. That's called aesthetic or style choice. This one I want to put my beads into. I think that is going to look quite a bit different, having a 3D object in there. They're a little shiny too. So that's a little different. Similar to this one, but a different type of face, and I really want that beak to stay folded down. Excellent. And lastly, I'm going to make something out of this guy. He looks like a badger to me. And so I think I'm just gonna put 2 eyes on top. So for this one, I'm going to use, I found in my shop, which I love. We've talked a lot about ping pong balls, and then I also get jumbo ping pong balls, which I really like. And then I found mini ping pong balls. They're so tiny. Oh, hello, Kit Kat. I know, you like to play with the eyeballs. I'm doing a video, Kit Kat. Did you want to help? Do you want to help? Here. So, these little mini eyeballs. So I'm going to put these right on, oop, I lost an eye, right on top of there. You can't see that at all. Oh, well, here. Let's glue them together first. With ping pong balls, when I put some hot glue in there, I hold them together and let it dry completely, and I kind of squeeze it a little bit. Ooh, fun fact about ping pong balls. If you find ping pong balls, there's a great store in Portland. I'm sure it's not open right now, but Scrap, which is in Northwest Portland, they usually have just barrels of ping pong balls, but they're usually dented because that's why they were given to Scrap. If you put a dented ping pong ball that doesn't have a hole in it, if it hasn't been punctured, in boiling water, it will pop right back to normal. All right, so that's dry. So now I can decide where on this I want that to go. There's kind of, if you look at this, there's these little grooves. And I think I like, and I have a little bit of a triangle left here. It's a little taller here. So I think I'm gonna try to make that line like the ridge of the nose. I want the eyeballs to sit right here. I'm gonna shove some hot glue on there. Careful of your fingers. All right, so we have our heads, and now I'm going to select what gloves I want to go with each head. I kind of want to make these two kind of buddies. So I attach the headpiece to my pointer finger. What's great about the soft gloves, they're not left or right gloves. Some gloves, like the gardening gloves, they have to be on one or the other hand. However, if I want to puppeteer 2 of these, I have to think about assigning a front. So I have opposite ones when I perform them. So I want to go like that. I have my thumb on the outside. So what I'm going to do now is pick what glove I want to go on each headpiece. So I'm going to put this light dirty pink one with that one. And then I thought I would do a white one for this pal here. And then I found this really fun fuzzy glove. So I'm going to go green, 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 green here on that one. And now I'm going to think about, is there anything else I want to put on these? Like I put a little bit of feather to give it a little more extra life. So I think I will put a little matching feather on this one. Kind of like this one blank, and I think this needs some fuzz. So I'm gonna scour my shop and hunt for some extra doodads that I want to put on here. You could do anything. You could color your glove, you could paint your glove, you could put pom-poms on your glove. Really, as you start making more puppets, you'll start collecting things in your puppet shop that you can always put on your puppets. So I'm gonna search my shop and pick some things to go on all of these guys, and then we will start gluing them together. Here we go. So I have all of the feathers and bits and bobs that I want to put on my puppet. Now I'm going to show you the last little trick in gluing the head to the glove. You're going to want a little bit of tape. I'm using gaff tape, which is the tape I have. But here's what I discovered. I want to glue the headpiece to the glove, and the easiest way I found to do that was to have it on my hand when I glue it. However, hot glue is very, very, very hot, and that would hurt my hand. So here's what I did, and I thought of 2 different ways you could do this. I do think you could fill your glove with paper, so your finger's not in there, and you could glue it to that and then pull the paper out. But if you want to try and you have an adult, I took tape, and gaff tape is made of fabric, so it's a little bit easier. I'm gonna fold over one little end. That's gonna be my pull tab. I'm gonna wrap this around my finger, which is gonna create a little bit of a barrier in that tab, so it's easier to pull off when I'm done. So I'm gonna start with this one, actually. It's a little hard to get your finger in there because you've got tape on it, but now I've got something protecting my skin from the hot glue. And then this one, because I don't have, some of these have a whole place to put your finger, which is quite nice. This one, I got rid of that bottom part of that space so I could bend the beak. So I'm gonna glue this one to that part right there and have the beak kind of cover the front of my finger. This is the part where you attach it is kind of based on what your hand is like in the glove and where you want your puppet to be on your hand. But the basic idea is that these are going to act as the fingers or limbs of your puppet, and this is going to be what operates the head. So you're trying to get all of this on one of your fingers. I find the pointer finger is one of the easiest ones because you could use these as the hands, or I was making these a wing, but this gives you the most options, I think, to make your character come to life in different ways. So I'm gonna put a bunch of hot glue here, quite a bit, and I'm going to put my finger in the hot glue, except it's okay because I put some tape there. And I'm just making sure I don't feel anything too hot, because if it feels too hot, I'll just pull my finger out of the hot glue. I feel a little warmth, but not too hot. I'm also going to put a little hot glue on the tip to keep that down once this is dry. It's a little weird hot gluing to a stretchy, soft fabric. So you have to really make sure it's dry before you pull your hand out. A little glue on the end. On his nose. Ow! Just kidding. Hold that in place. If you're new to using hot glue, I use hot glue a lot because it's fast and it has a good hold for some things. If you ever get it on your fingers, the trick is to rub your fingers. And what that'll do is it'll cool it down and pull it away. So if you're ever using hot glue, as you're learning to use hot glue, and you're probably gonna get it on your hand at some point, that's one of the hard parts with hot glue because it's so liquidy and hot. So if you ever touch it, it's hot, rub your fingers together. That'll make the pain go away the quickest and hopefully prevent you from burning. So that feels pretty dry. And now I have this little guy attached to the finger. So you can say yes, you can say no. Great. And on the design for this one, I'm gonna do all the heads first, and then I'll let you see the different options I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a little fur collar, I think, on this guy. I think that will look quite nice. So you pull this off, and it'll be stuck a little bit to that tape. So you just have to be kind of careful. Pull your hand out without ripping off our newly glued headpiece. And then I can, because I put that tab on there, pull that off, throw that away, and then I should be able to put my hand back in, and it should be exactly where it was when the tape was there. I'm going to make a few other examples. The first puppet I saw, and I made this when I was in the UK, I made this actually in London. I found this glove in a little shop. This puppet, I saw a show that the puppets were oriented this way. They used, you could use a ping pong ball. This was a planet that I found in a toy shop in London. And I put two little black dots on it. And this guy kind of walks like this. He can sit on an edge and dangle his feet. He's really fun to walk places. So as you start playing with gloves and stuff in your puppet shop, there's many different ways to make a puppet glove come to life. So using an egg carton is a really fun way to put a head on a glove. I think it's a little bird-like or creature-like. But as you're playing, look at the glove and decide, are there any other ways that you could make a glove come to life, and where would the head be or where would the eyes be? So I might make a few different types of glove puppets, and I'm just going to play. This is my favorite part, when I make these puppets kind of come to life a little bit. So let's get to gluing. right, everybody. Well, I've got some of my new glove puppets made. How are you? How are you guys? Are you good? Yeah, do you feel good? Yeah, are you excited? Can you wave hello? Yep, fly away. So now, I hope you have a glove puppet of your very own with the gloves and stuff you have in your house. And now, it's time to make a puppet show, the best part. Thanks for joining me on How Do You Do? Thanks for making a glove puppet with me. I hope you had a great time. And I'll see you next time for making more puppets and more fun things in my puppet shop. See you later.